Good morning and welcome to my course, the New Student Experience SLS 1122. This is my first time even building an online course, as I have not yet taught for Valencia, but hope to in the fall semester. So I just want to kind of take you through, I guess, my course in the modules, but the module that I will focus on today is career exploration. So as you can see here on the left side of my screen, this is where I would make announcements to my class. And I'm really I guess, pro emailer, if you will. Um, really it's really important to me to, stay on top of communications. So announcements and emails to students via Canvas would be the means of communication that I use with my students. Here we have my course syllabus, and I've got my contact information. But one thing I've started doing this year was allowing students to book personal appointments with me. So in addition to the office hours, they would be able to book an appointment with me via the OneDrive or Office 365 bookings calendar feature. And they can set it according to their schedule as, it I guess syncs up with my Outlook calendar so they can see where my availability is Monday through Friday. So then they've got, the information about me, course information, the textbooks and other supplies that are required for the class, as well as our course schedule, grading, the student core competencies, withdrawal policy. I'm just kind of going through this kind of fast. It's a pretty standard syllabus. I don't think there's anything too unique about it, but it includes the basic um, campus policies that most syllabi would have and when our assignments are due. So let me just scroll back up. And we're going to go straight to the modules. This is a 16-week class. It is going to be online, and we, of course, start out with the orientation and meeting the facilitator, and then the students will take an orientation quiz. So that the assessments for this class will be basically quizzes, completing the assignments. There will be some rubrics for some of the modules. The module we're going to look at again today is the career exploration, which is module number 7, or for week 7, right here. So you can see that this module is going to take a look at several things. So let's just click here so we can go ahead and go to our learning outcomes for this course. So one thing I love about the new student experience is it is a way for um, new college students, whether you're just graduating from high school or if you're coming out of the military or you're a non-traditional student, it's a really good way to get familiar with the resources available at the campus, as well as just some of the how-tos to survive college life. And so again, this is my module that we're going to be talking about today, Career Exploration Module number 7. So we're going to be looking at, career planning, and these are the outcomes for this course. So they will develop an action plan for career planning, identify ways for finding the perfect job, define interpersonal communication, describe verbal and nonverbal communication habits, and explain how these habits impact their conversations with others. This is how the students will be graded in this module. They must read all the module pages and review the resources. Some of the graded activities specifically will be the interpersonal communication and the workplace, as well as guided career research exploration. So this is the first activity in this module, steps to career planning, basically, and that self-assessment is really important because, I often share with students that my own experience was that we didn't have a course like this when I was an undergraduate. And had I had access to something like this, I would have been better. I would have had a better understanding of what my strengths were, um, and what those strengths and my personality would have been a good fit for in terms of career. So I had three different majors in undergrad initially before I finally settled on business administration. And then I was a little more cautious about it when I pursued grad school. I actually did do a career assessment or skills assessment to figure out what skills I had and where those would be best utilized. So just taking a look at that, steps to career planning. The students will work through these modules. There's video tutorial for them to watch. Really the best way, and this is what I'm going to encourage my students, the best way to be successful in this class is to actually really complete the assignments. And they may think it's kind of pointless to have to do this task, but it's really going to help them be more focused on their career path and determining, the academic plan in terms of what courses they need um, to I guess be successful in the pursuit of their discipline area. Okay, so I guess this is my module 7.2, I guess is my favorite part, mainly because I am one of the Valencia librarians, and databases are what we teach. And so um, being a librarian here at Valencia, that's one of my goals with this class, is to incorporate more of the library into each component of this class somehow, some way. And I don't want students to have extra work, but I want them to be able to use the library and its resources as part of this class and use it more in depth. And so the Ferguson's Career Guide Center would be a database that I'm going to do instruction for. So as you can see here, we have the video tutorial, and then they've got, we've listed the steps to accessing the library databases. And this is actually a guide for them to online introduction to library guide. So basically this is showing the students um, the research process for career research. So this guide gives you a welcome and video tutorials on the database, as well as how to research colleges and majors. Just don't take that lightly. I hope students don't take that lightly. Researching their careers, companies, and cost of college. So let's jump back here to our module and go to our next screen. And so once the students, I don't know why this screen keeps popping up, but it does. So then we go into module 7.4, which is the actual career resources in addition to the database. So we have some online resources for students to use here. So the Occupational Outlook Handbook, which I don't believe is no longer in print, but it is now available through the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and that's a resource I heavily refer students to, as well as ONET Online and Career Coach. And Valencia has a lot of resources for our students to use, and so this will be the focus. And so once they all work through those online resources, then this is kind of an additional tool, like to show them where and how they can find jobs and who's involved. So if they, for example, were where do you find your perfect job and who's involved? So let's say, for example, your current employment. And I always encourage students to find a mentor, someone who can help guide them through their career path. So whether that's a current supervisor or a past supervisor, or even a teacher from high school, or a teacher in your college, or someone even in your, I guess, church or social community. Okay. And then this is the discussion for the interpersonal communication in the workplace. So students are going to participate in this. These are their directives for participation. So they are expected to read this scenario, and they have to provide an initial post due the Wednesday of that week. And this is the information that they're going to be answering or responding to in their response. And then they have to respond to a peer no later than the date that I post in the module. So they're reviewing someone else's work, excuse me, or post. Um, and these are specific things that they have to respond back. A lot of times students have trouble. They want to be nice. They don't want to hurt anyone's feelings with their constructive critique of their response. And so these are some prompts that are provided to just help the students know what to look for in their peers' response. And they're reviewing feedback that they received from peers on their initial post. And so these are just some suggestions for how to reply. Again, this is not to be friendly, but it's to be, you want to constructively critique this so that it helps the your classmate. And then create a discussion post. So they're going to reply to this box, and then they're going to type in their post, and then they will respond to their peers. Okay. All right, let me move to the next screen. Okay, so here the students have their assignment for guided career exploration. These are the steps that they're to do. Okay, and then before we go to week 8, if I go back to, let me see if I can move my little image here and go back a screen. And I think I have to go back to the module listing to do this part. Okay, I want to show you the rubric. So this is what basically how they're going to be graded on this assignment. Make it a little bit bigger for you. Put that out of the way. All right, so this is the criteria in which they're going to be graded. This is worth 20 points for this assignment. So they're going to be graded on, we're looking at quality and timeliness. So I decided to use these measurements for, I guess, assessing the student. So they either did excellent, it was satisfactory, or they are still developing. And I really like this term because it's positive, and it encourages the student to continue trying to do their best. In addition, we're looking at their understanding of the content and being able to apply it to professional practice. Learning, generating learning within the community, interaction with others. And then this is the self-awareness assessment that they will be taking on their own. And then spelling and special mechanics. So all of those totaling 20 points for their assessment. So that is my career exploration module, week number 7 of the New Student Experience, SLS 1122. Let me just make sure here that I've answered all the questions before I end the video. Okay, I think that does conclude our video today. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you again.